Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. In today's video, we're going to be creating a full face festive glam. This is perfect for a work Christmas do. This is perfect for Christmas Day. I want to know, before we start, let me know in the comments, do you get dressed up on Christmas Day or do you stay in pyjamas all day? We always get dressed up on Christmas Day. It's always been a thing. So I always feel like Christmas Day is a day to really play with makeup, do something new, try some new products and create something super glam. So this is 100% something that I would wear for Christmas Day. In fact, I might actually recreate this exact same look. So before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, and leave me a lovely little comment in the comment section below. And if you want to see how I created this full face of festive glam, then keep on watching. So I've already gone ahead and prepped my skin with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. Did this a few hours ago. I always like to incorporate the moisturising aspect of my priming in with my morning skincare routine. I feel like it gives it a chance to sink in, and then if I need any more I can go in with more, and I just feel like it makes the makeup sit better when this moisturising primer has had time to sit in. So my primer's always in two stages, moisturising one and an oil controlling one. So the moisturising one is the one that I like to incorporate with my daytime skincare routine, and it can be anything from Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, Magic Cream. I like the Misha Bridal Cream, anything with moisture that's going to make my skin look glowy and fresh. And that's the one that I like to do a couple of hours before I do makeup. So I've already got that on my skin right now, and I've also done my brows already. Just because I feel like brows are boring, guys. I don't know about you, but I just find brows really boring. But I used a new brow pencil today and I actually really like it. I was sent this last week from a company called Niche Brow Co. This is their Pro Definer brow pencil in the shade Soft Brown. I actually really like it. I feel like it goes with my hair really well, like the tone of it. So yeah, I really like it. It's creamy, it went on really nice. The tip is really nice and fine as well. You can get those hair strokes in there. So far, I'm really impressed with this. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off the skin. I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Blurring Primer. You guys know this is my absolute fave. So I just take a tiny little bit and I just press it into my T-zone. And this just helps control any oils that I've got coming through in the day. I'm just going to give it underneath my eyes a little bit of a brighten, and I'm going to go in with the Fenty Beauty Bright Fix Eye Brightener in the shade Melon. I really like this. I think it's fab. Swap between this and my MAC Prep and Prime pen in the shade Bright Forecast. I like both. I think they both work really well. I've not used my Fenty one in a long time, so I'm going to go in with this first. I'm just going to apply that right on the inner parts of my eye, just a tiny little bit. And what this does, because it's got a bit of a pinky peachy tone, it just corrects any dark circles that we've got before we go in with any foundations, concealers, that sort of thing. It just helps to really brighten that area. So moving on to foundation, I'm going to go in with Shiseido Synchro Skin Self Refreshing Foundation in the shade 340 Oak. Now, as I said in my last video, I did buy this in summer, so I don't even know if it's going to match. I need to get a lighter shade in this for the winter time because honestly, this foundation is absolutely gorgeous. It's full coverage, but it leaves your skin almost like a demi matte, so your skin still glows through it, but the staying power on this is what I like about it so much. It literally lasts all day and it looks so good throughout the day. If you watched my last sit down video, which was my November favorites, you will have heard me rave on about this foundation because it's honestly absolutely brilliant. Like, the coverage is just unreal. This is genuinely my new favorite foundation. Like, I just keep reaching for it, and I love the way it looks over time, and it's got this technology in it that it looks better throughout the day. Like, it keeps looking better, it adapts to your skin. So it's exactly what we want over party season. I mean, who would not want their foundation to look better as the day goes on? I mean, I always like my makeup like an hour after it's done anyway. I feel like when it's just first done, I feel like it needs to like settle into my skin a little bit more. Oils need to get going and that sort of thing. So I always like my makeup like an hour after, but this foundation, I just love it all day. Like, it just looks so good all day. It's amazing. One thing I will say about this foundation is I love it applied with a brush more than a sponge. I've used both and I think that the brush is definitely better than a sponge, and probably a more denser brush than I'm used to as well. I usually apply foundation with a PC15, however the PC16 from Peaches Makeup is a bit more dense, and I just feel like it applies the foundation way better. Concealer, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer in the shade number 10. If you've not tried this concealer yet, it's really good. I think it's more like Shape Tape vibes, but I think I like it better than Shape Tape. You know, it's got a little bit more moisture in it. So I just apply this in all the areas where I actually want to conceal. This concealer is pretty much the same shade as my foundation, so it's going to really help conceal rather than brighten. I always like to go in with a couple of concealers, one that matches the shade of the foundation and then another one to brighten, because that's how you're going to get maximum brightness. If you go in straight away with a super light concealer, it can look a bit grey sometimes. You always end up using too much because you're trying to cover things, whereas if you go in with a little bit of a concealer that matches your foundation, you're already concealed, so you can just focus on the brightening with the lighter shade and it doesn't end up looking as grey. I actually did a full review of this concealer when it first launched, so I'll link that video in the description box for you if you want to check it out, because that's more in depth. I show you like swatches of shades and stuff like that. We go really in depth about the product, about the packaging and all that kind of thing, but honestly it's really good. If I was doing clients again, I think that this would be one of the main concealers in my kit, because it's just gorgeous. It's so full coverage. It's just really creamy. It sits on the skin really nice. It sits on the under eyes really nice. I just love it. Then just to do a little bit of brightening, I'm going to go in with the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer in the shade Light Beige. So I don't want to go too bright today. Just a little bit right in the centre of my face, just so we've got like a little bit of a lift. Again, I'm blending with that same brush. This is a PC17. Just tapping that in. I like to tap all my products in. I feel like it pushes it into the foundation, pushes it into the skin, get way more longevity with your makeup. So for cream contour, I'm going to go in with the NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Amande. This is medium dark 3. This is actually really good as a cream bronzer. I haven't reached for it in quite a while because I've been using like other things, but I actually really like this. And if you don't have this brush already, you need it in your life. This is the Peaches Makeup PC21. The angle of it fits perfectly in the cheek. It's amazing for cream blush and for cream bronzer. I actually have two, one for one and one for the other. I'm just going to go ahead and press that into my cheekbone. So I'm using a pushing motion. And I actually love using concealers as cream bronzers, because you already know that that product is going to melt into the foundation nice anyway, because it's meant to sit on top of foundation. Whereas some cream bronzer products, I find that sometimes they can sit on top of the skin and be a little bit too liquidy. So you'll have already seen from the intro that I'm doing a red lip. Now with a red lip, sometimes it can wash you out a little bit, so I always like to go in with a little bit more bronzer when I am doing a red lip, whether that be cream bronzer, powder bronzer. I always like to sort of bronze and do my standard bronzing, do my lip, and then come back to more bronzing at the end. So cream bronzing done, I'm going to go in with a cream blush. Again, I can't stop using this cream blush, it's so good. This is the ILLAMASQUA cream blush in the shade Dixie, and again, another PC21. I adore this blush. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit, because again, like I say, I like to do my red lip and then come back to the skin a little bit and see if I need more blush or if I need more bronzer. So I'm just going to go in with a tiny little bit of this. I mean, she says a tiny little bit, it's probably going to be loads. And I just press that into the skin. Beautiful formula. It really blends well with foundations, blends well with cream bronzers and things like that. It's just super easy to use. So I'm going to go ahead and set everything in place using my Laura Mercier translucent powder. Absolute fave, it's amazing. And I'm just going to apply that with a Real Techniques setting brush. I know I talk about this brush quite a lot, but it just fits so perfectly underneath the eye. So I'm just going to go in and set one half my face. I always like to do this just so you guys can see like before and after with this powder, because honestly it just airbrushes everything. Like you can see from this side compared to this side, it's amazing. Brush is quite dense as well. Well, it's dense but it's nice and fluffy, so you've got sort of like a structure to the brush, so when you're pushing that powder in, you're really getting a nice set down, which is going to make your makeup last way longer. So I'm going to go ahead and do my normal bronzer, and then I might add a little bit more later on as well as blush. So I'm going to go in with my Vive Modern Bronzer in the shade Medium, and I'm going to use this lightest warm shade here. And I'm just going ahead and bronzing up all the areas where we put the cream bronzer. By the way guys, I've got my sparkly Christmas earrings in today. These are from Blush and Birdie. They are an amazing company. They do the most beautiful like earrings, headbands, like Really, really nice pieces. I've been wearing their stuff for like years now. I think I have a code as well, which might get you 15% off, or it might be 20, I can't remember, but it's in the description box anyway. I always forget that I have that code, but their jewellery pieces are absolutely stunning. So these are the Charlotte earrings, I think, in gold. They do them in silver as well, but honestly, they do the best pieces. I've just knocked my brows a little bit whilst blending foundations and stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and tidy those up a little bit using this niche brow pencil. To prep my lids, I'm going to go in with NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Ginger and a MAC 252S. So if you watched my last makeup tutorial, I think it was, I did mention that my eyelids are so oily at the minute. Usually I can just use my PLOUISE and I'm good to go, but recently my eyelids are so oily, and I don't think it's my eye cream because I've used a few different eye creams. So I don't think it's like a specific eye cream that's making them oily. But I just think I need a eye base that's a little bit drier now. And then I'm just going to buff that out with a clean synthetic brush. I always feel like a synthetic buffs out creams way nicer. So for eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with my Vive Essential palette. So excited to use this. So when I filmed my November favourites video, I did sort of like it was like a very plain but sparkly eye with a wing, and I feel like that would look so good. I use this palette and I feel like I really want to recreate that eye today. So I'm actually going to take the shade Buff first, this middle shade here, and I'm going to press that all over the lid. So I'm just really building up that shade. I'm taking it right the way across my lid and up into my crease as well. We're literally just creating one colour with this. You really want to make sure that you're packing on until all that is set down and dry. If you leave it a little bit tacky and a little bit wet, you're going to get creasing. So you need to make sure that when you're going in with eyeshadow, that's really, really well set. And the brush that I'm using is a Morphe and Ariel brush from the eye brush set. And then I'm going to go in with a Morphe M441. Taking that same shade Buff, and I'm just going to blend out these edges and really blend this out, get it nice and seamless. You can use any sort of clean, fluffy brush that you've got. And I'm just ever so slightly winging it out. Not too much, but just because we're going to do a wing today, I really want to make sure that the eyeshadow is matching that sort of way that the wing will be going. And then with my finger, I'm just going to go in with this shade Carrot, and you should see how this applies on the eye. Wait till you see this. So I'm just going to press like this, and it just adds the most beautiful glitter sparkle all over the eye. It's so beautiful. Love it. I'm just going to use a little brush just to get in the corners and any hard to reach areas where my giant fingers will not get. I'm just starting to think I should have done eyes first, to be honest. I'm just going to pop a little bit of Laura Mercier powder underneath my eyes. I don't usually do this, but I want to keep that under eye nice and clean. And I'm going to be doing like a eyeshadow wing with some like dark shades. So I just want to make sure that that area is like nice and protected. So I'm going to go in with Delicious, which is the dark brown in the palette, and I'm using this little brush from Morphe. It's a tiny angled brush. You can get it in the gold set or the Madison Beer brush set as well. It's like a tiny wing brush, but it makes doing wings so easy. So I'm just going to map out my wing with this dark brown shade first before I go in with any actual liner. And by doing this, it makes doing the wing so much easier, guys. I cannot even explain. Before you've even gone in with any sort of like liquid liner, you've already got the shape mapped out, so it makes it 10 times easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my waterline and my tight line before I do my wing. This is the Fenty Beauty Fly Pencil in the shade Puppy Eyes. It's like a bronzy gold. It's actually really stunning. I love this pencil. Just popping that straight in the waterline. So for the liner, new brand, new product, never used this on my channel before, but I used it yesterday and I'm absolutely obsessed. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes Liquid Liner in the shade Super Black. This is absolutely stunning. Didn't crack, didn't transfer, didn't smudge, super black. Like, it is amazing, guys. This is the only product that I've tried from Makeup by Mario, but I actually might try more now that I've tried this. I know I need the eyeshadow palette. I know I need it, but the thing is, right, guys, I've got so many natural nude eyeshadow palettes. Do I need another one? Argue amongst yourselves in the comments. So because I've already gone ahead and done that shadow wing, it's going to make it so much easier for me doing this liquid wing, and the pen is quite flexible as well, so it's just going to make doing this wing super easy. So I like to start off small and build up. Can you see how dark that liner is? Amazing. And I'm just going to go slightly across and maybe like take it halfway. Guys, just take your time and work it out like a puzzle. Like, what does the wing need? Like, does it need to come up a bit more? Does it need to come across? Like, I know I need to pull this bit out, so I'm going to do that. I can sort of clean up that edge at the end. I think that's the fastest I've ever done a wing. So I'm just going to take my MAC 252S and I'm going to clean up the tiniest bit on the edge, just to really finish off the wing. So I'm actually going to go back in with Delicious, which is the dark brown, and I'm going to focus that right on this inner corner here and just create like a soft liner in the beginning. It helps so much when you're putting lashes on. So just really pressing that on and sort of joining it up with the wing. So back into the palette, I'm going to take Buff and Delicious, a little mix of those two, and I'm taking that on a little PLOUISE brush, and I'm just going to buff this right under my eye, right from the edge all the way to the inner corner, just making sure it's all really seamless. Go in with a bit of mascara. This is the L'Oreal Volume Million Lashes Balm Noir. I love this. It's nearly empty and it's never in stock. It is absolutely doing my head in that it's never in stock. So I'm just going to coat my lashes with this. It's one of the best mascaras that I've used. So good. Like, come on. It's amazing. I'm just going to finish off my brows because I forgot to do that. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze today. Switching it up from my Refi. I'm just taking that on a clean spoolie. Brush it through my brows just to set them in place and like get them spiked up. So for lashes, I don't even know if you can see, but basically I wore these lashes yesterday. I found them in my drawer. They were in like an unbranded case. Like, do you know when you get like the white bit and then the little clear tray that sits above it, and then that's meant to go into a packaging? I could not find the packaging. I don't know what these lashes are. I don't have a clue. Maybe they might be TL9s from TATTI Lashes, but I don't think they are. But I feel like they go really nice with this eye look. So these are the lashes that I'm going to use. I'm really sorry that I don't know what they are. I'm going to pop these straight on. Wow, I'm obsessed with these lashes. So we're going to move on to lip. I've got 5 lip options. So when it comes to choosing a red is so specific to you and like your skin tone, your undertones and everything like that. For example, me, I don't really suit a true pillar box red. I mainly suit more orangey reds. However, that's not very festive. So when it comes to doing a red for Christmas, I always like to go for a little bit of like a deeper red. So my options are Cash Beauty lipstick in the shade Blood Moon, which I think is nice. Don't know whether this is going to be festive enough and maybe a little bit too light. Then we have Colourpop Lippie Sticks in the shade Bitchet. Now I actually wore this on Christmas Day 2 years ago and I loved it so much. Like, really, really nice shade. MAC Sin, again, another absolute staple red shade for me. Like, I actually love it so much. So don't know about that one. Then I've got the NARS Air Matte Lip Colour in the shade Pin Up, which I think might be the one that I end up going for maybe. Still a little bit too light though, isn't it? And then I've got NARS Power Matte Lip Pigment in the shade Vein, which I think might be great. I don't know if this is too much of a true red for me, but I think we're going to try that one anyway. I'm going to actually line my lips with Laura Mercier Red Chocolate. I feel like this is my favourite when it comes to doing a red lip. I don't know why, I just love this lip liner so much. Even when I used to work for them, like, I always wore this liner. It's not quite a red, but it goes with reds, if that makes sense. Might be quite nice, might be quite nice. Oh, I think it's too much of a true red. It's not deep enough. Tell you what, this formula is amazing. So comfortable, so lightweight. I don't know about the shade. I feel like it needs to be a tiny bit deeper. I might just pop a tiny little bit of MAC Sin straight over the top, just to deepen it a bit. Yeah. That is way better. Now, I always have to do a gloss, so I'm going to go in with NYX Bear With Me lip conditioner today. I'm just going to put that straight over the top. So now I'm going to go in with more bronzer because I feel like this is very much a main statement and I want a little bit more bronze. I'm just going to bronze up a little bit more. I am also going to go in with a bit of blush. This is MAC Melba. Just a tiny bit, not too much. All right, guys, so that is the makeup done. I'm gonna pop off camera and try and do something with my hair, something a bit festive, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, that is the finished look. I did this hairstyle. I've seen Molly May do this a few times and I've just been really wanting to try it out. So that is my red lip festive glam. As always, I will link all the products in the description box below for you if you want to check out any products. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up when you like this video, and leave me a lovely little comment in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.